Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Welcome to this very important event. It's my honor to open our event this morning. For those of you that may not know me, I am David Carroll, based in Chicago, Illinois, USA. I'm president of the International Gas Union, and we're fortunate and honored to be sponsoring this side event here at COP23 with our charter member, the German Gas and Water Association, DVGW, under the tremendous leadership of Dr. Carroll. Thank you, Gerald, for putting this event together. So it's my job and my great opportunity here to just offer a few opening comments about the role of gas in the future energy mix. And perhaps even before I do that, I'll just take a moment to explain what IGU is very briefly. And we are an association of global gas producers, users, transporters that's active in now 92 countries around the world. And our charter members, which tend to be the gas associations of these 92 countries, represent 97% of the entire world's production, transportation, and use of natural gas. And we as an organization are dedicated to advancing both the technical and business opportunities for the industry, but more importantly, really trying to enhance the quality of life for our fellow citizens around the world, with natural gas being a key component of that solution and of the future energy mix. I'm joined here by a number of my esteemed colleagues from IGU that I'd just like to introduce very briefly. The first is our Secretary General out of Barcelona, Senor Luis Bertran. Thank you, Luis, and you and your team have done a great job putting this together, working with Gerald Linke and the German team. We also have the incoming president. He's currently the vice president of the International Gas Union, Mr. Joe Kang, from Korea. So next June at the World Gas Conference in Washington, D.C., it will be the largest gas industry event next year in Washington, but that's when the handover ceremony at the end of the event will take place, and Joe will be the capable leader of the IGU over the next 3-year period. So we're here today to talk about the role of gas in the future energy mix, and it's so very timely. Obviously, with COP23 taking place, and I haven't had the opportunity to be there yet. Hopefully I'll get there this afternoon. But it does appear that our German hosts have just done a tremendous job, not just organizing the logistics, but making it a very meaningful conference. And when you couple the COP23 activities with the very successful German G20 presidency and the contributions it made over the course of 2017, it's clear that Germany has been playing a prominent role in leading the discussion and leading a lot of the action toward both addressing climate change and also shaping the energy mix of the future. So again, it's very timely to be here. And another reason it's timely as well, and that is just yesterday, the IEA released its next World Energy Outlook, that being WEO 2017. And I have to tell you, it makes for very good reading, so I hope you have a chance to take a look at that. But its fuel focus for this year has been natural gas. So there's a lot of focus on natural gas in this report. And short answer is that it really foresees a more favorable role, a more prominent role for natural gas than ever before. More prominent role in global energy mix than ever before. That's one of the quotes. Another quote from that report is that it cites a very strong environmental dimension to natural gas, including multiple roles across the energy system in a way that no other fuel or no other technology can match, generating power, generating heat, and providing mobility with fewer CO2 and emissions of other pollutants than other fossil fuels. So as a result, the IEA forecasts that natural gas is going to grow about 1.6% a year between now and 2040, making it really a very prominent portion of the global energy mix, and growing, of course, faster than any of the other fossil fuels. But the report also highlighted some challenges for our industry. And those challenges include working diligently to minimize the environmental footprint of natural gas production, transportation, and use, including the very important task of reducing methane emissions. And I can tell you that IGU has been very focused on this important topic about reducing methane emissions through applying new technologies, through strong and enhanced operating practices, and through really a focus on ensuring that every day we work to minimize the environmental footprint of this energy production and use. I do want to refer you just briefly to some of the reports that are out there on the table. If you don't know IGU, or you don't know some of the work that gets done, you will find some really excellent reports that in many cases highlight case studies and specific examples of how countries, how local municipalities, how companies are applying and addressing some of the key challenges and key opportunities for our industry. But there are a couple of very recent ones dealing with methane that I would cite there for you. Another focus of our efforts the last couple of years under the USA presidency has been on the very important topic of air quality. While here at COP23 we're addressing the very important topic of long-term climate change, of CO2 concentrations in the atmosphere, the presence of other greenhouse gases, very important that we address that. But also, perhaps even more acutely important in the near term, is air quality, particularly in the mega cities of the developing world, but also here in Europe, in North America, and so forth. And it's been a focus of our membership, been a focus of our member companies and associations to continue to work to use natural gas as a tool in addressing air quality. Again, we have some other reports out there dealing with air quality where we've taken specific examples from cities like Beijing, New York, Toronto, Krakow, Rotterdam, and others to really stress and focus on the role of gas in addressing air quality and defining in specific quantitative terms the benefits that have resulted from an increased gas usage. So in that spirit of case examples, practical knowledge, sort of news that we can all use, we're really fortunate to have some great speakers here that to help us better identify, better quantify the role of gas in the future energy mix, and also talk about how we can make that happen. We're going to be addressing four major topics. The first is going to be dealing with marine transport. Many of you know, and we'll hear shortly from our expert in this area, that marine transport is a major emitter of CO2 but other pollutants, and the International Maritime Organization has adopted some more stringent emission standards to be applied in the coming years. And it's very likely that natural gas, that LNG, will be playing a key role in helping to meet those emission targets and really representing a very major growth opportunity for this industry. We'll then hear from a representative of the German government who will provide his thoughts and insights on the role of gas in addressing, again, this critical element of urban air quality. And then finally, we're going to hear this morning from a senior representative from a major shale producer in the United States, one of the top shale producers in the U.S. I know you've all heard of shale gas. But even more importantly in this context, Southwestern Energy is a leader, absolutely a leader in methane reduction practices. And you're going to hear from Roy Hartstein from Southwestern Energy in that regard. So I will introduce each of those speakers more specifically as they come up. But then we're going to take a coffee break, and then we were going to hear from Dr. Gerald Linke from the German Gas and Water Association to talk about the blueprint for staying within the global carbon budget. Very important topic, not just this week, but for many, many weeks and months in the future. So again, I thank you for being here. The room is full, which is outstanding. And I'm going to turn the program over to our first speaker in a moment. And her name is Ms. Anke Janssen. And she comes to us today from the Rotterdam Port Authority, where she's had key roles in business development, key roles in strategy and corporate development, including all these LNG, liquefied natural gas activities that we have. She's been responsible for the small-scale LNG program and is a member of the board of the Dutch LNG platform and really project manager for the EU-funded LNG master plan for the Rhine, Main, Danube for the Rhine corridor. She has a master's degree in geochemistry and also in public administration. Could you please welcome Madam Anke Janssen? Anke, please.